Dan Le Batard, the artist formerly known as Dan Le Batard. How do I introduce you, Dan?
Well, not formally. What is this? You go to ESPN, you leave ESPN, and you immediately become formally? No, I don't want to become formally anything. You can introduce me by my name as your friend, Dan Le Batard, following in your footsteps, trying to do the pioneering thing of breaking free from the mothership.
Any trepidation when you decided to leave, or now that you left? I bring this up that I came home, made the right move, and then 6 weeks later, I'm at home by myself with the family dog, and I went, oh, I think I just made a terrible mistake. Any of those feelings?
Every day. Saturdays are pretty cool right up until every day is Saturday. And then you're like, well, wait a minute, I've lost sense of time. There's always going to be doubt and fear and pain when you leave something comfortable. I have learned later in life, it took me a long time to learn it, that you should generally lean into the fear and the doubt and the pain. It's where you need to be going to get to growth. So it took me a long time to learn that, but it is something to lean into. So of course, I'm also responsible. You know this, Dan. You and I have talked about this. I'm responsible for a lot of people. I'm responsible for a lot of people I care about. And so it's more the pressure of that. If not for the pressure that I might already be on a boat somewhere far away from, debating whether or not Chris Paul fits in Oklahoma City.
What exactly are you doing, and what are the plans for the future?
It's a very broad question. What I would say is I am vigorously enjoying and taking advantage of the freedom that I did not realize had a great deal of power to it when you are us. Our businesses have been run by middlemen and agents and agencies for a long time. And it's been a bit startling to see once you get outside of the corporate machine, oh my God, there's a whole playground here of people who want to work with you, creatives who want to do stuff with you, who are starved for similar freedom. So I've just seen a lot of instances already where I've been moved, right? As the son of Cuban exiles, I've been moved by freedom being even bigger than I imagined. And freedom has always been the thing I've negotiated. Freedom has always been front of mind. It's always been priority. But to see maximum freedom, you can work with anybody. You can choose anything you want. I don't know that I deserve what it is that is, because it fills me with a great deal of gratitude to be free of all shackles, to be able to speak my mind without any encumbering whatsoever, and to work only the rest of the way, Dan, only with people I like. I don't have to do it anymore. I do not have to work with anybody I don't like the rest of my life. That's not going to happen.
Well, let's name some names here. Do you want to get that out there too?
People I don't like.
Yes.
People I don't like. You go first. Given what's the disparagement language in your contract? What are the confidential? I left with all my stuff. I got out of ESPN and I was able to leave with all my stuff. Right. So. Yeah. I am not allowed to say bad things about certain people. That was the trade.
You know what I took? I got my ties. All my ties that I wore on the air. That was it.
And you have a lot of them, though. That's
yes.
Probably, I don't know if these can be non-fungible tokens now in the new commerce economy that I don't understand, but maybe these ties are worth something, or videos of these ties are worth something.
Yeah. But also the media landscape is changing. I don't know if it's ever changed this fast.
That's right.
Right? I mean,
it's unbelievable how fast it's changed. I've been amazed by this, Dan. Like, this happened to newspapers, right? The newspapers were throwing yesterday's news on your lawn and asking you to pay for it and giving it to you more immediately on your computer for free. And of course, it kills newspapers. Radio doesn't pay attention. Television doesn't pay attention. Movies don't pay attention, and all of them get swallowed by the same thing, which is today I get what I want when I want it. I don't live by a television schedule. I don't live by when you want to give me television or radio. I am on demand all the time. And so this is a great time to be free, because this is a golden age of content. And, one of the companies keeping up our economy is Netflix, and the others who want to get into the game are Amazon and Google and everybody else. I was actually surprised to see football and hockey go traditional routes, or largely traditional routes, old school television streaming rights, as opposed to choosing some of these new models, because this game's going to be totally different in 5 years, Dan, because here comes the gambling money too. It's like in 5 years, all of this is going to be hugely different than it is right now.
What is the big topic that you guys have been dealing with your podcast? Is there a sports topic that has been front and center?
Our specialty, and no one else can have it, is just narcissistic, ego-soaked navel gazing. That is the number one thing that we do. And as it relates to sports, we enjoy talking about the Miami Heat a lot, because we've, over the last 10 years in Miami, basketball, it's been cool to learn a lot about basketball. Just the measurements, watching. I mean, how long have you been doing this, Dan? It is rare to be watching sports and see whether it's the shift in baseball or the way that the three-point line has dominated basketball, where you see evolutions that make you wonder, hey, how good would Shaq be today? Wait a minute, Andre Drummond went from something I wanted to something I'm not sure I want anymore because everybody is spread out on the perimeter. Like, you never get to see real-time evolutions in sports or live through them like that, where you realize it, not looking back on it, but watching it in real time.
How's your wife doing?
She's a source of perpetual happiness, my muse, and the reason that I was able to summon the ability to leave the safest platform in sports to jump off a cliff, because I want to follow love and freedom. Thank you for asking, by the way.
Yeah.
The audience should know. Well, I'm not going to even say this on the air. I was going to tell the audience that my wife wishes you were her father, but I would never do that. I don't want to say that on the air. So I'm glad we're not talking about this publicly.
And I would sing that Madonna song, I will be your father figure, put your tiny hand in mine. And your wife would then sing along with me. And
wildly inappropriate. Stop flirting with my wife. Stop serenading my wife. Stop singing to my wife.
I know.
You make me deeply uncomfortable. More uncomfortable than I was just making her your father. Really, making you her father.
Was there any thought of not taking Stugatz when you left?
Not from my end. There were many thoughts from Stugatz of just because I'm William H. Macy in Boogie Nights in terms of my marriage, where I always end up on the in the parking lot, and there's Stugatz flirting with Golick. It's not on my end. I always intended to be with Stugatz, but Stugatz. Well, you were at the wedding. Didn't he drive you home because he was? Didn't he angle for a job with you?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Hey, glad to talk to you, and my best to everybody there, and hopefully we'll cross paths here soon.
I love you, buddy. Always good talking to you. Take care.
That's Dan Le Batard. He's host, podcast. He's doing a lot of different things.